Hi everyone! Today we're going to continue on with telling time. How many hours are there in a day? Well, we know that the hour hand goes all the way around the clock 2 times in a day. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've gone around once. Let's go around again. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So the hour hand went around the clock 2 whole times, and there are 24 hours in one day. How many minutes are there in an hour? Well, if you count all of the little tick marks like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and so on, all the way around the clock, there would be 60 little tick marks. So there are 60 minutes in an hour. And we could count by fives to make it quicker. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. When telling time, we always read the short hour hand first. So can you point on your screen to the short hour hand? That's right. Short hour hand is right here. So we read that first, and it's pointed at the 3, so it's 3 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock. And the minute hand is at the 12. So 3 o'clock. Let's do some practice together. What time is it? Well, for all of these times, the minute hand's at the 12, so it's something o'clock. The hour hand's pointed to the 8, it's 8 o'clock. The hour hand is pointed to the 11, it's 11 o'clock. The hour hand is pointed to the 4, it's 4 o'clock. Where's the hour hand pointed here? That's right, the short hour hand is pointed to the 5, so it's 5 o'clock. The short hour hand is pointed to the 2, so it's what time? 2 o'clock. The short hour hand is pointed to the 6. What time is it? 6 o'clock. The short hour hand is pointed to the 9. Good, it's 9 o'clock. The short hour hand is pointed to the 1. That's right, it's 1 o'clock. Good job. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Now here's where things get a little tricky. When the hour hand points between two numbers, it is half past the hour. Okay, so here the short hour hand is pointing right between two numbers. What two numbers is the short hour hand pointing between? That's right, the short hour hand is pointing between the 1 and the 2. Okay, the short hour hand is pointing right between the 1 and the 2. It's not pointing at the 1 and it's not pointing at the 2. It's right between. Okay, good job. Okay, so here the hour hand is pointing right at the 2. It's pointing directly at the 2, so it's what time? 2 o'clock. Okay, the hour hand's at the 2, it's 2 o'clock. Now the hour hand is pointing between what two numbers? Right between the 2 and the 3. Okay, so it's half past because it's halfway between the 2 and the 3. And here the short hour hand has made its way to the 3, and it's pointing right at the 3. So we know this is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Each number on an analog clock is an hour from 1 to 12. When the hour hand moves to the next number, 1 hour has gone by. So when it's pointing at the 1, it's 1 o'clock. An hour later, it's 2 o'clock. An hour later, it's 3 o'clock. An hour later, it's 4 o'clock. An hour later, it's 5 o'clock. Okay, so every time the hour hand moves to the next number, 1 hour has gone by. Now today we're talking about if it's between two numbers. So if the hour hand's pointing between the 1 and the 2, okay, then that's not a full hour, that's called a half hour because it's right in between, it's halfway in between the 1 and the 2, okay? When the hour hand points between two numbers, it is half past because it's halfway between two numbers, okay? So here the hour hand is pointing between which two numbers? Which two numbers is the hour hand pointing between? That's right, the hour hand's between the 4 and the 5. It's right in the middle, it's halfway in the middle. Okay, so it's between the 4 and the 5. Okay, but do we say 4:30 or 5:30? Well, if you follow the path that the hands take clockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, it hasn't made it to the 5 yet. We have to stop right here. So it's 4:30. Okay, here the hour hand is between which two numbers? Right, it's between the 9 and the 10, okay? It's pointing right between the 9 and the 10. So it's half past, okay? But if you follow the path 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and stop, it hasn't made it to the 10 yet. So it's 9:30. Here you'll notice that the hour hand is pointing halfway between which two numbers? That's right, it's halfway between the 6 and the 7. Okay, it's right between the 6 and the 7. Okay, if we follow the path the hand takes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop right there. It hasn't made it to the 7 yet, so it's 6:30. Here the hour hand is halfway between two numbers. Which numbers is it between? Good, the 1 and the 2. So it's pointing right between the 1 and the 2. If we follow the path the hand takes, it's made it to the 1 and it's made it a little bit past the 1, but not to the 2 yet. So it's 1:30. Here the hour hand is pointing right between the 5 and the 6. Okay, it's halfway between the 5 and the 6. Okay, so it's half past. Now if we follow the path of the hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop. It hasn't made it to the 6 yet. So it's 5:30. All right, do you think you can do this one? Okay, let's see. So the hour hand here, we can see is pointing halfway between two numbers. Which two numbers is it pointing halfway between? That's right, it's between the 8 and the 9, okay? It's between the 8 and the 9. So because it's between, halfway between two numbers, it's half past, okay? But is it 9:30 or 8:30? Let's see. We're going to follow around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop. we haven't made it to the 9, so it's 8:30. Good job. 8:30. Let's see if you can do this one too. The hour hand is pointing halfway between which two numbers? That's right, it's pointing halfway between which two numbers? The 1 and the 2. Good. It's pointing halfway between the 1 and the 2. Because it's halfway between two numbers, we know it's half past. Now, if we follow the arrow, it's made it to the 1 and a little bit past stop. It hasn't got to the 2 yet, so it's 1:30. All right, so this one, the hour hand is between two numbers. Which two numbers is it between? Good, the 5 and the 6. It's pointing halfway between the 5 and the 6, so it's half past. And if we follow around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop. It hasn't made it to the 6 yet, so it's 5:30. Good. Here, the hour hand is pointing between which two numbers? The 8 and the 9. It's halfway between the 8 and the 9. So it's half past because it's halfway between two numbers. Okay, now let's follow the hand around the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop. It's 8:30. It hasn't got to the 9 yet. 8:30.